Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video review for Under the Dome. This one is for Under the Dome Season 1, Episode 6, which was called The Endless Thirst. Okay, so as always, my reviews do contain spoilers, so if you guys have not seen the episode yet, I definitely recommend you check this week's out. Even if you have not been watching Under the Dome regularly every week, this episode is an amazing episode. This is by far the best episode we've seen so far in this series. Better than the premiere, better than the fire, the second episode, better than any of the episodes we've had previous. This one by far just took the cake, man. So many things, so exciting. We are seeing basically the town start to panic as they realize that the dome is not seemingly going anywhere, and they are beginning to have problems and start to run out of resources. Of course, the episode driven by the water problem, which is that basically one of Nori's moms, the blonde one with the glasses, not the tranny, the regular one. Oh, that was mean. But, you know, she's diabetic, so she's starting to lose it. She doesn't have her insulin. So she walks out in front of a truck. The truck swerves and hits the water tower, Chester's Mill. You know, the water tower we see in all the intros and stuff. It's like, oh, that one, the one that says Chester's Mill on it. So I really like that. That was kind of cool because we've seen it every episode of the intro and stuff, and it's like, no significance. And now it's like, oh, that's significant. I see. Great stuff. So, boom, the water tower goes down, and immediately panic ensues. And before long, we have Anarchy. So exciting. So exciting through this episode as you start to see everybody just losing their minds. Characters that we, maybe have not been developed that much, but just, we've seen them there. We've heard they've had some dialogue, are starting to get more developed. And Zelda, I think it was Zelda, or was it Hilda? Hilda from Sabrina, or Zelda, I think it's Zelda. Rose in Under the Dome, who runs the local diner. In this one, bit the dust. I mean, it was unexpected. It was brutal and unexpected, and wow, man. Like, I did not think they were going to go that route. I did not think this show was going to be that gutsy to the point where you would have characters like her, innocent bystanders, just trying to do the best they can, getting taken out by, who was it? The two brothers, the Dundee brothers. Oh, man, I can't wait to see, because they're still out there. They're okay at this point. I can't wait to see what Big Jim does to them when he finds them, man. You see the look on Dean Norris's face when he's starting to understand like who it is, and he's saying, find him. But, I'm thinking he's going to find him. And when he does, oh, man, dude, man, they're going to pay. So can't wait to see that too. So there's so many developments in this episode, as well as just, oh man, it was packed. It was action-packed. It was exciting. The chaos, the anarchy, and the things that were happening to the characters, and new development. We have a rivalry between Ollie and Jim now, which is a new development. We have the Dundee brothers that are out there that Big Jim's going to be hunting down, and we have Big Jim showing some of his negotiation tactics here on Angie, and actually seemingly probably going to get her under control depending on how Junior reacts. Also, the development at the end with Junior kind of coming in, and that's a great, okay, that's awesome to me, because it's like, okay, he's got that personality where he is so overprotective and controlling of Angie that it's to the next level, to the point where he wants to lock her in a bunker at the beginning of the show. And now he comes in and he sees her talking to his dad. What's going on here? It's like he's mistrusting his father, that maybe his father may be up to something with her, or something's going on. And then you have Big Jim, who's like, talks to Angie about, I've known something's off with him, and all these kind of all this kind of stuff, and trying to negotiate with her to keep her mouth shut. And so cliffhanger there. Can't wait to see what happens with that one next week as well too. So just again, there's so many great things in this one. We find out that Nori and Joe, the teenagers that I thought were useless all the way up until now, well, not totally useless. I did like the shh thing in the video. That was freaky as hell, especially when they played it again with the pink stars are falling type thing. So we see now that the engineer and Julia are able to trace the broadcasting signal that seems to be interfering with some radio waves and possibly have some kind of effect on the dome to the two of them, so they kind of figure that out. Julia wants to keep it hush-hush because she's a news reporter. She knows how information can cause trouble for people. And you've got the engineer girl who's like, you just know she can't keep her mouth shut to save her life. You know she's not going to be able to keep her mouth shut. You know it, man. You just see it on her face. Okay, for now. You mean until like 3 hours from now when you go blabbing to somebody. That's what's going to happen. We all know it. So another interesting development there. Nori's got the insulin for her blonde mom now, but, just one shot really. I think that's all she took, which was pretty interesting to see them trying to track down some insulin. And again, exciting because, you have other characters that are starting to become their lives are in jeopardy here, and I think that makes drives home the point of danger in the show, and it stepped it up. No wonder why CBS just announced that they're renewing Under the Dome for a second season. I think it's because they watched this episode. Once they watch this episode, they're like, oh yeah, we've got to do another season. We have to. I mean, the characters are really starting to get to that point where we're really starting to relate to them. I mean, Big Jim is such an awesome character for Dean Norris. I mean, he's, I'd say, even almost as good as Hank from Breaking Bad. He's getting there, as the episodes go and progress. I may like him even more because he's got, more lines, and he's pretty important in Breaking Bad too. But in this, it seems like he's even more of a central character than he is in Breaking Bad, if that makes sense. I think he's got more lines, he's got more depth, he's got more interesting characteristics where he's not just your simple good guy cop. He also has, that dark side of him, and I like that too, because really the society inside the dome, Chester's Mill, is starting to become basically anarchy. The whole thing is turning into anarchy where people are just looting and stealing, and it's not just about the water. I mean, the water, when it started to rain at the perfect time, that was all good stuff and great. But the food, too, is going to become a problem very soon. People are going to start running out of food. Money has lost its value. Once money loses its value like that, capitalism is no longer in place. You're going to, basically, the system is going to change into something else. Could be anarchy, could be simple trade, free trade, these types of things. But once money totally loses its value, that's when the society becomes essentially anarchy, right? Happened to the Germans before World War II with Hitler. There you go. Perfect example. Once money loses value. So that whole thing I loved in this episode. Thought it was awesome, great. The chaos was awesome. Barbie had some good scenes this one too. I like how he was beating up those guys, and he puts the one in a chokehold, and it's like, oh my god, he's gonna kill him. I loved it, man. It was great. The scene with him at the end with him and Julia was okay, whatever. Romantic. I'm not all for the romantic stuff, but whatever. You gotta have it sometimes, so that's cool, I guess. The teenagers was great. I loved all the stuff with them. Big Jim's parts were some of the best we've had so far. And good new developments for the series. Very exciting stuff. Let's see here. Anything else I want to say? Just an amazing episode. The best one of Under the Dome so far. Amazing episode. Can't wait to see where they go from here. And these new developments, Ollie, Jim finding those brothers that killed Rose for revenge. He's going to. Junior, Jim, and Angie, and what's going to happen with her. Oh, man. Even Nori's moms, what's going to happen with them without insulin. Yeah, and Linda also starting to kind of lose it, her admitting that she's scared. But also in this episode, her police, her being a police officer, starting to lose its meaning, like her being a police officer in their society no longer really means anything, because nobody, when it becomes, society becomes anarchy like that, doesn't matter what position you're in. Whatever happens. Somebody, attacks somebody to try to get food or whatever the case may be. Her trying to maintain order just feels like a losing battle. Feels like, there's no chance, like you're wasting your time even trying to do anything, keep people under control. So great stuff. I think that's pretty much all I want to say about this week's episode. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10, the highest score I've given for Under the Dome episode yet. On the scale, compared to what we've seen so far, it's stepped up the game. I hope to see in the future episodes it be even close to this kind of a level of excitement and just great development and interest. I mean, I am very interested in the show after watching an episode like this. An episode like this really takes a series to a new level, in my opinion. I think that's why CBS announced it just this week, because people who watch this episode are going to be like, man, this show is sick, dude. Best show of the summer. Well, Breaking Bad hasn't started yet, but aside from Breaking Bad, as for a new show, show's sick, man. Show is very, very sick. And just because it's on CBS, it doesn't pull any punches either. You've got blood, character deaths, all these things happening. Love it, man. Love it. 9.5 out of 10. Pretty much all I gotta say. So let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. How have you been feeling under the dome? People who are gonna drop out, we're not gonna watch the series anymore. How do you feel after watching this episode? I know, me personally, last week's episode 5, I thought was okay. I mean, it was pretty good. You had the good death at the end, and I like that a lot with the missile and everything. But compared to this week's episode, oh man, that was nothing compared to this week's. This was sick. Okay. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.